Marriages are falling apart. 1 in 3 marriages today are ending in divorce. That's a fact. When you think about marriage, you're going to have to ask yourself that question. Is this the man I want my children to spend every other weekend with? The female mind developed vertically. That's a fact. The male mind developed horizontally. That's why it's called a one-track mind. You girls can do 6 things at once. We can do one thing 6 times. And we're walking together down the Queen Street Mall in Brisbane, where I came from, where I left this morning to come over here and greet you people. And as I'm walking down there, a young woman, gorgeous she was, walked the other way. And without even being able to control it, my head just went, you know, it's not my fault. This eye doesn't realise it's married. See, the thing is that women will never understand men, and men will never understand women completely, and that's one thing men and women will never understand. I mean, my wife says to me, and these again, true stories, she looks at me, I come home and she says, notice anything different? I can't stand the pressure! So she gives me a hint and she says, my eyes. I'm thinking, have they changed colour? And what colour were they? We sit down together, but what happens is the key that unlocks your heart is the fact that we as men listen to you. You start talking, and not just for a minute and a half, but for the entire restaurant meal, we have got undivided attention. All right? If the man's, you know, in a restaurant and he's had dinner, he has a bit of a build-up of wind in his stomach there from the restaurant meal, well, he's going to leave the table, isn't he? He's going to leave the restaurant. He's probably going to go down round the corner, or come back again. Sorry, had to make a phone call. Courteousness. And yet after a couple of years of marriage, he'll get a build-up of wind in his stomach, and he'll hold on to it until she comes back into the room. Just so she can share the experience. Oh, come on, honey, where are you? This is a good one. It's true. He's proud of that. That's that Aussie sense of humour. Get you through the pearly gates, that will. I heard a story of a man that ended up at the pearly gates on Christmas Eve. True story, so I'm led to believe. St. Peter said, okay, because there's a bit of a line there. He said, it's Christmas Eve, we're fairly busy up here. The only way you can get in here is if you've got something on yourself to do with Christmas. Well, there was an Englishman who said, just a moment, I've got a little bit of holly, keep it in this box. What about that? St. Peter said, that's fine, go on through. The Aussie's rummaging through his pocket, the American had some mistletoe, and that got him in. And St. Peter finally says to the Aussie, who's the last one in the line, everybody else is gone, what about you? The Aussie said, I don't know, old son. St. Peter, I don't think I've got anything. The bloke said, what, nothing? He said, no. Oh, he said, oh, wait a minute, what about these? And he held up a pair of ladies' underwear. And St. Peter was as shocked as you are right now. St. Peter looked at the Aussie with the underwear in the air and said, what has that got to do with Christmas? And the bloke said, these are carols. I gotta go.
Mr. Scott Williams.